welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're really digging into things, going beyond the usual self-help stuff to look at the habits that, consistently show up with highly successful people. We've looked at some expert conversations, pulled out these core behaviors that seem to be the real difference makers.
Yeah, the patterns are quite striking when you look closely.
Right. And our mission today, for you listening, is to extract those actionable insights, stuff you can actually use to maybe shift how you approach your own goals.
Absolutely. It's not just what they achieve, but the fundamental how. That's where the interesting patterns emerge across different fields.
Okay, let's unpack this then. First up, something that sounds simple but seems crucial, knowing what you want, goal setting.
Yes, but it's more than just, having a vague wish.
Why is it so powerful for those at the top?
It provides clarity, real direction. Think of it like a destination on a map, not just a general direction. That clarity acts like a filter. It ensures your energy, your resources, they're focused. Without it, effort gets diluted.
Makes sense. The expert conversations we looked at mentioned figures like Elon Musk and Richard Branson. Their goals seem huge, almost outlandish sometimes. Is it just the scale?
The scale gets attention, sure, but underneath it's the exceptional clarity of their vision.
How so?
Well, Musk isn't just vaguely building rockets. He has these incredibly specific, iterative goals for space, for energy. Branson's ventures, they seem diverse, but each one usually starts from a very distinct, well-defined idea.
So it's not just dreaming big, it's defining big, specifically.
Precisely. And for you listening, it's about translating those broad aspirations. I want to be successful into something tangible, specific outcomes.
Yeah, and there was a great, really grounded example. Stephen King, his daily goal.
2,000 words.
It's not about making every word perfect that day, right? It's the target.
It's the concrete, measurable target. That consistency, day after day, builds into this massive body of work. It shows how a huge ambition, like writing lots of books, comes from a small, defined daily action.
The power of the specific, yeah.
So the question for you becomes, how specific are your goals? Are they just wishes, or are they broken down into steps you can actually track?
That's a really practical takeaway.
Yeah.
Okay, but even with the best map, the road isn't always smooth, is it?
Never. Which brings us right to the next critical habit, resilience and perseverance.
Nothing back. Keeping going when things get tough.
Absolutely essential. I mean, setbacks, failures, they're pretty much guaranteed if you're aiming for anything significant.
So what's the key? What makes some people push through?
It's their ability to see obstacles not as dead ends, but as, feedback, information.
Checking perspective.
Yes, it transforms a roadblock into a learning opportunity, a chance to adjust course.
The expert highlights J.K. Rowling, all those rejections for Harry Potter, and Thomas Edison with the light bulb. Thousands of attempts, apparently.
Classic examples. They're not just stories about eventual success. They really show that unwavering persistence, sticking with it despite repeated setbacks.
So resilience isn't about not falling down.
Not at all. It's about what you do after you fall down. And there are strategies, things you can actively cultivate.
Like what?
Well, breaking down those big goals we just talked about, that helps. Smaller steps means smaller failures, if they happen, and more frequent small wins.
Keeps you motivated.
Right. And consciously viewing failures as data points, okay, that didn't work, what can I learn? That stops discouragement setting in.
And mindset.
Crucial. Maintaining a positive outlook, even when it's tough, focusing on the progress you have made, not just the distance left to go. Don't demand perfection right away. It's about progress.
It sounds like it's less of an innate trait and more like a muscle you build.
I think that's exactly right. It takes conscious effort.
Okay, moving on. We all have the same amount of time, but successful people seem to manage it differently. Let's talk time management.
Yes, another vital habit. And it's not just about cramming more in. It's about strategic allocation, putting your time towards what truly matters.
The experts point to Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, known for being incredibly focused with their schedules. Is it complex systems they use or something more fundamental?
Tools like calendars and lists can help, of course, but the core principle seems to be, ruthless prioritization.
Ruthless?
In the sense of being very clear about what yields the highest impact towards their goals, and, importantly, saying no to things that don't, even if those things seem urgent or appealing.
Saying no is hard.
It is, but essential for focus. And the experts also warn about common pitfalls, right? Things that sabotage time management.
Yeah, like procrastination.
Oh.
We all know that one.
Uh-huh.
And multitasking, which often means doing several things badly.
Right, the research generally shows it's less efficient than focused work. And just a general failure to prioritize, trying to do everything.
It's interesting how these habits link together.
Absolutely. What you don't do is often as important as what you do.
So, avoiding procrastination, multitasking, not prioritizing, that leads to better productivity.
Directly. And notice how it connects back to segment one. If you have clear goals, it's much easier to prioritize. You know what moves the needle. Avoiding those mistakes frees up time and energy for what truly matters.
That interconnectedness seems key. Okay, so you've got goals, you're resilient, you manage your time, but the world keeps changing.
Which brings us to the next habit, continuous learning.
You can't just rest on your laurels.
Not today. Continuous learning isn't just nice to have, it's really a necessity for staying relevant, for adapting.
Why is it so crucial now?
The pace of change is just accelerating. New technologies, new markets, new challenges. The ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is vital for staying ahead of the curve.
And again, we see names like Musk and Mark Zuckerberg cropping up. Even with massive success, they're known for being constant learners.
Voracious learners. It's like they operate with this fundamental curiosity. They're always challenging their own understanding, absorbing new information.
It fuels innovation, doesn't it?
Definitely. And it allows for adaptation. The experts suggest practical ways you can prioritize this too.
Like reading.
Yes, dedicating time for reading books, articles, attending seminars, workshops, taking online courses. There are so many resources now.
So it's about actively seeking out knowledge.
And making time for it. Prioritizing learning keeps you sort of intellectually agile. It fuels that curiosity we mentioned and keeps motivation high by opening up new ideas.
Intellectual agility. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not a chore, it's a tool. Okay, final habit. This one shifts focus to people, networking, and relationships.
Hugely important. Success is very rarely a solo journey.
You need other people.
You do. Building a strong network, nurturing real relationships, it opens doors, provides support, offers different perspectives. It amplifies your impact.
The examples here were Richard Branson again and Oprah Winfrey, both known for connecting with people incredibly well.
Exceptionally well. And it's clearly not just about collecting contacts.
Right, it's deeper than that.
It's about fostering genuine connections. Mutual respect, understanding. The experts emphasize things like active listening.
Really hearing people.
Exactly.
Ah.
Demonstrating empathy, trying to understand where others are coming from, and consistent follow-up, nurturing those connections over time. It builds trust.
So investing in people, basically, not just transactional interactions.
Precisely. That kind of authentic relationship building creates a robust support system. And that system is invaluable when you're chasing big goals.
How so?
Well, it provides encouragement when things are tough, diverse viewpoints when you're stuck, and it can literally open doors to opportunities you wouldn't find on your own.
Makes a lot of sense. Wow, okay. This has been really insightful, a deep dive into these core habits. So just to recap, we talked about the power of really clear goals.
Setting in that direction.
Then building resilience and perseverance to handle the bumps.
Essential for the long haul.
Strategic time management, making your time count.
Prioritizing relentlessly.
The constant advantage you get from continuous learning.
Staying agile and curious.
And finally, the crucial role of networking and building strong, genuine relationships.
Leveraging the power of connection. And I think the key takeaway, really, isn't that these habits are some kind of secret code. They're often quite straightforward concepts.
Yeah.
It's the consistent, disciplined application of them, day in, day out. That, combined with focus and adaptability, seems to be what separates high achievers.
Discipline and consistency, not always easy, but clearly effective. So for you listening, maybe think about which of these habits resonates most right now.
Where could you start?
Exactly. Remember, big changes often start with those small, consistent actions. Build the muscle, like we said, about resilience.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for you to ponder. Looking at these 5 habit schools, resilience, time, learning, relationships, which one feels like your biggest opportunity for growth right now? If you were to intentionally focus on strengthening just that one area, which one do you feel kind of intuitively would create the biggest positive ripple effect in your life and towards your goals? Something to think about.